What is up, guys? MinishCap1 here. Going to be doing a quick and dirty proxy and laning phase guide for Singed. So this is important because I get this question all the time. MinishCap, how do I lane? How do I proxy? I don't know what to do. What is my goals? How does Singed work in the early game? Well, I'll tell you right now, early game is the hardest part for Singed. And you're going to have the same general overarching goal on Singed in most laning phases that exist in League of Legends. So you're going to want to eventually find a way to push the wave without dying, and then you're going to proxy behind turret. And the reason why you want to proxy behind turret is because Singed has a very weak early game, and proxying allows you to avoid a lot of the direct confrontation in early game and scale up into the late game monster team fighter that Singed is. So here all I'm doing is the very, very basic early game strat for Singed, where I am looking to slow shove wave 1, hard shove in wave 2, while trying to maintain priority, and then proxy on wave 3. And so the reason why this works so well is because Riot changed the minion move speed values so that they gradually decrease and get slower and slower. So whenever you crash wave 2, you can walk behind turret a lot of time and then proxy wave 3. Here, I'm actually not going to farm this next cannon because I can see that Aatrox is walking down for me, so I'm going to leave the cannon alive, not damage it at all, and that way when the cannon gets to this turret, it will start DPSing the wave and then join the next wave and push this up towards me. The reason why I put this ward over here whenever I get behind the turret is to try and track the enemy Bel'Veth, who is actually chasing Ivern right now, so he's got to be a little bit careful here. He is level 4 though, so he might actually be okay. But I put that ward down there just to see where I think the enemy jungler will be. Good kill, good job team. And that way, if Bel'Veth is right there, I might even just abandon that wave fully and then just execute immediately. You can see this cannon is still alive here, pushing the next wave. Sometimes the cannon will die, but what you want to do is try and just grab poison on the wave here and not take 38 million points of damage like I did, and then lose the cannon anyways, which is really bad. Aatrox, whenever you're bouncing, whenever he's bouncing the wave back into you, can't actually catch you like that, and I knew that was a possibility, but I wanted to disrespect him a bit to get the cannon. It's okay. The main purpose of that cannon being alive is to help push the wave back towards you. If you miss it, it's that first one, it's usually okay, because your goal is to get the experience. Anyways, experience is better than gold early game. For the most part, experience is king for early. So all we're doing now is going to be doing the same thing. We're looking to try and push the wave as best as we can without dying. Gonna dodge the EQ or get hit by the first one. Dodge the next 3 though. Okay, when those are down, we will take a little bit of a trade. And what we want to do, again, is slowly push the wave in a way where we can get the wave crashed into the turret without dying. I think poison gets that. Nope, rip. Okay. So I'm actually quite chunked out here. I'll be super careful. He did use his E there, though, so he has no reset for his Q. Knowing that his E is down, I'm going to use these extra minions that I have built up and slowly try and crash this wave in. Okay, make sure I dodge that. Keep kiting away. Get him inside a poison trail. Now that wave is cleared, and now I can look to go around and proxy, or I can recall and reset immediately, whichever one I think is going to be more beneficial for me. I know that he warded that bush, I know that this crab just got taken, so they know that I'm over here. Okay, if he's going to check that, I don't have the HP to contest it, that's okay. I do have teleport to come back to lane, it's 5 minutes, I can use TP and just reset just like that. As you can see, Singed is not going to be as strong as most champions early game, and playing an early game oriented style of Singed can be quite hard. I'm actually going to hold the gold here and just greed for a blasting wand. Normally I wouldn't do this. Well, actually, I would do this. Normally I wouldn't recommend it. Just holding gold for a blasting wand, but I think here it's A-okay. So we see him recalling in that bush. We can definitely just put a W down and stop his back there, assuming he is in the bush. And I'm not going to freeze this lane at all. I'm just going to push hard because I want to either get his teleport or stop his back. Either way. My goal is to do the same thing, so there's his teleport, so he actually probably recalled in a different spot than what I tried to cancel there. And now, same goal, once again. Knowing that his TP is down, we're going to walk around, look for proxy. And the goal is just to get as strong as possible while not dying, not feeding. You can play a more early game oriented style of Singed. See how he's trying to cut me off a little bit here? We're getting inside of his head. Already, just like that. Okay, we can look for a proxy behind here as well. What you always want to do, you always want to watch the wave back here. Oh, I should mention I'm going to be doing a replay review of this game immediately after I play it as well. But you always want to watch your bot lane's wave just to see where your enemy creep wave is, because it will always match. The map is mirrored, okay? So this bot lane creep wave will match this top lane creep wave. So all I'm doing here is just proxying. I don't know exactly where Belveth is, but I can tell that her Gromp is going to respawn soon, so I probably need to execute or recall soon. Because odds are likely that when her camps are up, that she will be in the area. You actually don't want to execute past level 7, or sorry, past level 6, because your death timer is longer than your recall timer. So if you can recall, then go for that. If not, good luck. I never get caught there, unfortunately. I think she kills the, nice. I was gonna say, I think she kills the, Lysandra there. Cool, now we have Blasting One, we have a lot more AP. Whenever you have your Blasting One, or if you're gonna go for a Leandries first, if you have your Faded Ashes, your wave clear improves a lot. And so does your damage. Like, potentially I could fight this Aatrox here, right? If I really needed to. That is something I could do. Most likely they are on grubs here, though. I'm gonna go ahead and ping that for my Ivern. But same goal for me. Also, if you are behind the enemy turret and you see the enemy jungler, you can either fight or run for execute immediately. It's going to depend on how much health and how much mana you have. If you have full HP and mana, then I would say you can try and fight. Most likely it's not going to go in your favor unless you have Conqueror and you have component like Blasting One or Faded Ashes to help increase your DPS quite a bit. Okay, so this Aatrox is actually playing very aggressively here, very greedy. He's going to take a lot of damage from me. Okay, mana is really disrespecting me here, so we're just going to go ahead and fight. I think he lives there. Unfortunately, also went in a little bit too early and tanked turret shots, which is not great. And he's going to go ahead and clear the wave up as well, so we'll just leave. No worries. If I play that a little bit slower, I think it was a kill for me, but that is A-okay. Oh, I got him on W. Nice, and that is a little bit of a solo kill for me. So he's being very aggressive. We actually killed him while I'm behind the turret. I know his teleport's down. I'll get a turret plate here. Oh, Jinx Rocket as well. So I get that and his flash, and I'm going to go ahead and proxy this wave as well. And now I have created a massive, massive, huge gold spike in my favor. I'll go ahead and time his flash as well with my app. You can get either Professor, which will help you give you a tracker that you can click on. You can get, I believe, U.GG has one that is quite nice as well. That one actually does not use Overwolf, and I think Blitz.gg has one as well that you can get. But now I have a huge gold spike in my favor. I took a turret plate. I got a solo kill. I have a 15 CS advantage as well. This Aatrox is not in a great spot anymore at all. And my goal is more or less the same still. I want to push the wave without dying. I want to get behind turret and get my farm and proxy. And what you always want to try and do, and I should have mentioned this earlier, sorry I forgot because I'm doing live commentary. I'll mention it more in the replay review of this game, but you always want to try and get vision of the enemy jungle camps. And the reason why is because then you have their timers. And when you have their timers, then you have a better idea of where the enemy jungler is, because when those camps are spawning back up, then you know that they're going to be nearby. Okay, so there's his EQ. When his EQ is down, go ahead and just push this wave in. I want to try and back at some point soon, because I have enough money for my Rite of Ages. However, I don't want to back for free. This is Q on me. This is Q3. I don't want to back for free. I want to recall after I proxy, because that gives me better tempo for my recall. He took a lot of damage from me there. Potentially this is killable. Depends on if he E's forward or not. I don't think he's going to. I think he's just going to stay back here. Okay, there's his Q3. We'll just kite him a bit here. I don't think he's going to chase me. I'm pretty sure he's going to back off. If he chases me, he's dead. And yeah, so the reason why we recall behind the turret, you can put this ward down here as well, by the way, to cover all three areas. You can put it right in this corner, and you'll get a little bit of vision of... Oh. Ah, I had a W down, but I couldn't escape. Hate to see it. All good. All right, I got my Rite of Ages. You can put this ward down here. I got collapsed on, unfortunately, but my LeBlanc is getting a push in mid, so I mean that's decent. She does get a plate there, I believe. Nice. So it's not like we're not getting value for it. We are getting value for it, which is good. Which is decent. I do have teleport for the second spawn grub as well. I want to make sure that my Ivern knows that. And I'll get another Amp Tome here for ability power and TP back to top lane on this cannon as well whenever I spawn. But the hardest part of the game now is over for me. Can I get there? Rip. The hardest part of the game is over for me now. I already got my item. Like, the Aatrox doesn't have any kills. I'm still astronomically far ahead of this guy as well in terms of my gold income. And arguably, with my ultimate up, I'm definitely a stronger champion than him, which is good. We're going to go ahead and push this in. There's Aatrox's teleport. Always watch for their teleport timer, if you can. He has Eclipse, but I have Roa plus tier 1s. I'm going to walk down river with Poison on. Not being afraid here. Okay, so we know that they're supposedly backing off, and if not, I do have ult in 7 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and proxy a wave and then walk over here. You can proxy a wave and then go to grubs. This is a great way for Singed to get priority, because it means the enemy top laner still has to deal with the creep wave while you are already moving to objective. My Ivern is not wanting to fight. Alright, I guess I'm leaving. Alright, we got him. Very nice. I think we can just kill her, because I believe her E is down. Okay, Goofling on the Belvath, gonna run away here, no problem. Yeah, I think if we took the fight a little bit slower, would have been fine, but that's okay. You have to bear in mind that Singed is the way this champion functions, he is a late game scaling team fighter. That is what he does, that's what he excels at. The champion is meant to go for mid to late game 5v5s. That is what he's strong at. His 1v1 is never going to be as good as another ex-champion's 1v1, right? That's just not what he's built for. Alright, my team is getting bot tier 1 plates. Very nice. Like they are just pushing the enemy out of the bay or out of their lane. Really good. Unfortunately, we didn't get any grubs, but we do have a dragon, and I'm still pretty far ahead of this Aatrox, so that's really good. So he just uses E. That means I have a bit of an advantage. If I put W down, I can just walk up, do a little bit of a fling, push my wave in. And once again, my goal is more or less the same, just to... Yeah, and this is the same goal you're going to have in almost every lane, is you're going to want to get your lane shoved, you're going to want to proxy safely, 1 or 2 waves, and then recall. You can stay for longer if you have a lot of practice and you know what you're doing. But you really want to...
It's nearly time.
You really want to make sure that you are aware, generally, of where the enemy jungler is. Right now, I'm not fully sure where she is, although they did put a pink ward down on the Herald, so we can assume that she is nearby. Yep, there she is. So we see her. My team is nearby. If I want to help, I can. If not, no worries. But I proxied a wave, and I'm here, so we can potentially force the Herald as well with my team. Will depend. My Taric just recalled, so we have to be a bit careful here, but I do have a decent setup with my Ivern here. Okay, Aatrox is pushing top, but the plates are down, so my turret's actually, I think, near full HP. Yeah, he didn't get any of my plates. I will lose some CS for this, but getting the Herald is worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that as well, actually. Because the enemy team is on Dragon. I think they're okay. TP in 26, I'm just going to go ahead and walk up here and push as well. And now with the Herald, depending on where the enemy Aatrox goes, I can get at least a turret with this. So they got a Drake, no worries, we got a Herald. I know Aatrox's TP is down for about 30 more seconds as I timed it. Okay, backing off of that, no worries. Same goal. Get my proxy, get my back here. I do have an empowered recall from Herald as well. I'll buy Haunting Guys for damage output. And because I do have my teleport available whenever a fight does break out. I can go to it. I can hold on to this Herald for as long as I need to. There's a Bel'Veth right there. If they overextend bot lane, just like this, I'm gonna go ahead and TP in, and we're gonna contest, and we're gonna fight this like crazy. Okay, Jinx is in. I'm getting CC'd, boys. No worries, I can Herald this though, and we can push. We can actually push for tier 2 because I can maybe even use this to stop their recall. I'm aware that Aatrox is pushing top. I'm not gonna go up there to stop it though. My goal right now is just to push hard and push as much as I can. I know that they're also low, so we can just attack this tier 2. And if they fight, we'll potentially even get a kill out of it. Just A-okay with me. So we just got 2 turrets off of my teleport play there, which is super good. I'd probably leave if I were them. If they get a kill, that's good for them though. Aatrox just took my top tier 1, but that's fine. Like I said, we got a lot of value for the team. Gonna keep building towards Leandry second. And this is all applied through macro. Even then, I still have a CS lead, by the way, with me leaving lane for that long. So I got turret first blood for my team. I got tier 2 turret for my team. Creating a big gold swing for everybody. I needed to talk about the pros and cons of playing like an early game oriented Singed setup. So if you have like Ignite Flash, Conquer type gameplay. Conquer, it's interesting because it can scale okay, but it will fall off more in the late game just because Singed in the late game values durability and mobility in my opinion more. These things give them higher value. But for hyper early game, if you pair Ignite with Conquer, the benefit is that you're going to have obviously Ignite Conquer for a bit more of a lane oriented setup, but the downside is going to be that you will blink him the other way and then just clear my wave. The downside is going to be that you're going to lose utility of things like Teleport and Ghost Flash combo, because Ignite is only going to be there to deal damage and that's it. Whereas something like Teleport or a Ghost Flash combo will give you much more mobility, utility, things like this that will benefit scaling more. And I think scaling Singed is actually stronger right now just because of game states being a bit longer. Same reason why I'm building Rite of Ages, because I believe that longer game states means scaling setups are a bit better. And that's fine. That's just how the game is right now, and I like it, personally. Some people don't like it, but I think that it is perfectly fine. Also, if you want to do Ghost Flash Singed, by all means go for it, if that's your thing. I recommend Ghost Flash probably the most. I'd recommend TP Ghost more after that. I like TP Ghost personally just because I think that the map control is something that I use very well with Teleport. Here, Aatrox might go mid. Need to make sure my team is aware of that. If he does go mid, I can push because I think I might be too late to join. We'll see though. We'll see. I'll go ahead and walk down towards River and just see where Aatrox goes. If he doesn't show up, I'm going to go ahead and push top though. I'll walk through here just to see. There he is. Yep, I was right. We have traumatized him into staying top lane. That's what we like to see. Interesting flash. There's Bel'Veth. Okay, I'm very close to Leandry's money at about 100 gold for Leandry's, and I can recall and get it. I could fight this guy here as well because I have Haunting Guys, but I think having Leandry's first is gonna benefit me a bit more before I fight. And I'm so close anyways, like why even take the risk for the Destinitis Cannon there? Very nice. Why even take the risk, right? If we're already almost there. So that's Leandry's money. There's a dragon in 40 seconds. I'm ready for that whenever we need to get to it. I do have teleport for it as well. That means Aatrox will also have his teleport for it as well. Go ahead and grab a blue ward here. I have a fully stacked rod in about 2 minutes time. A little bit less than that actually, if I recall correctly. I think we're in between stacks right now. Okay, so there's an exhaust. It's good to have. She's maneuvering her clone. Yeah, in about a minute, I'll have full stack Roa. So 2120. Then here, because I can pressure the lane so fast, I'll just run top and then just poison waves. Potentially get Aatrox to make a bad play if I'm able to just draw him top lane. And my team is able to get something on the map. Right now, I'm just watching my team, just watching to see what I need to do, where I need to be, where they are, where they're going. I'm trying to be in the right spot to support them with teleport and map pressure. Trying to do a little bit of everything right now. Okay, backing off because I don't get chunked up before this fight. And there it looks like team is... I'm just watching this fight over here right now, seeing what they're doing. If I see Lissandra go in, I'm going to go in. She didn't go in, that's okay. Looks like team is alright. I'm not going to commit anything too hard here. Oh, I got the fling on him, actually, so he'll probably just die. I popped my ult here because I think we're going to fight now. So keep flash shot. I think he's dead, though. Very nice. This turret's still alive. I didn't even expect that, but I'm going to just poison my wave on the way out. Why not? There's my Rod of Ages fully stacked up. And then we get mid-tier 1 as well. Potentially, if I hit this W, I can catch him. I cannot. But I'm 2 levels above the Aatrox, looks like. Ivern wants to do Baron. I'm not personally very sure about that, but let's see how it goes. He's already here. He's already fighting it, so let's see what we can get done. In a Baron fight, Baron dance scenario, your job is Singed usually, in my opinion, should be a mix of tanking Baron as well as zoning the enemy team. Singed is very good at zoning with his W and his poison. So we just get Baron just like that. And now I will back up. Then we will build towards either Dead Man's Plate for that team or a Rift Maker. Both are quite good. I will go for Rift Maker because I want to 1v1 this Aatrox. Definitely in a 1v1 I can fight him now. The thing you need to be aware of when 1v1ing on Singed is you have to commit a lot of resources. You're going to have to probably commit Ghost. If you have a Flash, you're going to have to probably commit a Flash. Unless you are strong enough to where you can keep them inside of poison, or if you have like a Rallies to keep them in poison. The thing about Rallies though is that your damage will be a bit lower than having a Liandry's if you do go for a fight in 1v1. Generally, I don't recommend 1v1ing inside lane unless the kill is absolutely free, because your ultimate is very, very valuable as a cooldown and you need it for team fighting. So here, I know where Aatrox is, and I'm actually okay to 1v1 here because I know I can probably beat him and then just pressure the lane really hard. I'm also level 16, that's my big power spike compared to him. He is level 13, so if I do fight, I can put him in a super, super bad spot.
It's nearly time.
And I'm not afraid of him here, not afraid of him here. I'm also willing to walk under turret and just fling him. Get a little bit of damage off if I want to, just like that. He's going to take more damage than I will. Then just leave the poison on. If I get collapsed on as well, I'm really dangerous in this situation. So I hit him with my W. Look for a bit of a fling. Just stack Conqueror a bit here, back up. He has Grievous Wounds on him as well as Liandry's burning. Watch for the Liandry's debuff, and then apparently his turret still hits me unlucky. Okay, he's getting smacked. Very nice. One of the minions is over there. Somehow, I'm not sure how that happened, but now that my team is just sieging, I'm just bullying this Aatrox, and I'm just looking for push. That's all I'm doing here. I know I'm a lot stronger than him. I know if we get into extended fight, I beat him. In a short fight, I beat him. So we use that knowledge and then just push turret. I think I'm okay. I'm gonna head back off here a bit. This cannon will take turret. Very nice. And then I just keep slow sieging. If we get into an extended fight, I know he has no R, but I do need to be careful about not getting chain CC'd here by him. Team is still sieging. He's all he's doing is trying to fight me. He's not helping his team at all. We've completely broken this guy's brain this game, by the way. He is completely obsessed with stopping the Singe to the detriment of his team losing absolutely everything. So really good. I will go ahead and walk back. I'll just keep pushing actually. I have ult in 20 seconds, keeping a bit of a menace here. My team got the siege. Aatrox is just, yeah, he's just not even playing. I'm not sure what he's doing. So we get mid into him. Here's bot on him. Just straight up macro gameplay. I wanted to have more team fights this game, but my team kind of won as well, so we just do what we do. All right, I'll back here. I have no resources. I also have enough money for Rift Maker. I can just we can recall and save siege tier 3, or sorry, 3rd inhib top lane. I still have teleport for Dragon as well, so we're gonna go ahead and just run top solo and then start on that. If anyone fights me, I'm a massive threat. I have 3 AP items. I have Liandry's, I have Rift Maker. No Rallies, but I do have Rod of Ages, which has helped me get to 16 so super fast. Which is one of the reasons why I love this item right now. You get super fast level 16s. Level 16 for Singed is a massive power spike. You get 100 of each stat: armor, MR, health regen, mana regen, ability power, movement speed. Just a good time. I don't have any armor, so to be careful. I can definitely still die, and if Lysandra CCs me, I can be in big trouble. There's Lysandra right there. We see her. We know where she is. We see her kind of recalling, sort of. Aatrox is not respecting me by standing where he's standing, so I'm going to go ahead and start fighting him. Here's Lysandra. Okay, there's their ult. I'm getting hit by every CC now. Fling this guy. It's everyone! Run! Holy shit, dude! It's their whole fucking team! Okay, my team got dragon though, so it's okay. It's everyone except Jinx, by the way. Holy shit, man. It was actually everyone. But getting dragon, I think for that is worth it. That was basically the gamble I'm making. The gamble I'm making is if they don't help Aatrox, I kill him, I take turret. If they help him, my team gets dragon, so it just works out. Holy shit, dude. Everybody showed up. All good. Alright, so next item we want to think. There's a couple good options, like Rallies is good, Deadman's is good for obvious reasons. We're getting hit by Aatrox the entire time. Getting some MR wouldn't be bad either because Lysandra is hard focusing us. A lot of options. Death Cap, really good as well. At this stage in the game, they don't have a ton of MR. So Death Cap can do a lot of benefit for us. And here I can go bottom now while my team sieges top. I can stay in the fountain as well until they force Baron. So do Baron. I'm gonna ping Baron, then I'm gonna ping my teleports, let them know that I have it. I think I will go for a Death Cap. I think that'll actually help me quite a bit here. That doesn't have a lot of MR, so we'll start buying decap components. And then if I need to switch that needless Larydron into something else, I can go for like a Zhonya's or a Banshee's or something. Zhonya's could be quite good here as well, so something to think about. Death Cap is better on Singed than it was earlier in this season. He got his Q nerf slightly reverted, which is awesome. Here, again, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm not afraid at all because I know that my team can checkmate the Baron, and I have teleport as well, so we're going to be really aggressive here. And just look to hard shove. Lysandra nearby as well. Again, Bel'Veth coming into the area, but my team is just on Baron, so I am unafraid, and I will just walk up like an absolute demon. Let him know I'm not afraid either. And then if anything happens, I'll just back off into Fog of War and teleport over. Looks like they're going to fight, so I'm going to go ahead and look for a teleport. I have a teleport in the pit. Let's go ahead and back up and find it. Aatrox will die. Nautilus will die. I chase the Bel'Veth down. Not sure where she's going. She's just running in, and now she will die as well. Very nice. Then just run towards mid. GG, just like that. Checkmate the game with macro. Proxy it up. Make sure that you get your value. That's how you play the early game. That's how you play the mid game. That's how you play the late game. That is a basically perfect example, I would say, of a Singed game. All right, so let's go ahead and see the match history, and then I will give you guys the replay review of that game as well. We'll do it quick and dirty. Okay, so 1, 3, and 6, not a massive KDA by any means, but as you can see, the amount of pressure that I applied that game was absolutely huge. I also had the highest damage of the game, 24.62k, so even though my KDA wasn't that high, I had the highest damage of the game. And then I want to just watch this fight one more time because I don't want to say it while I was playing, but I was shocked that no one died. So let me wait for this ad. So I'll see it on the Outplayed app. This is one of those things where having potentially like Phase Rush or Aftershock would help me a bit more. Aftershock here would deny me probably like 150 damage. Potentially I could live with that as well at the end. Yeah, so Aatrox, when looking at the replay, he's doing a good job of just staying outside of the poison right there. He actually, if he's not inside of Poison Trail, he doesn't have the Grievous Wounds debuff. He needs to either be getting currently damaged by Poison Trail, or have it damaged him. I can't speak. Or it needs to have damaged him in the last 2 seconds, basically, because it's a 2-second duration, while your ultimate is running. If your ultimate's off, you have no Grievous Wounds, but with ultimate on, you'd have Grievous Wounds, so he just did a good job of kiting the poison there. I should have maybe turned to focus the Lysandra whenever she walked up to me. I think that was a little bit hasty by me to use my first fling on Aatrox there. I should have just waited. I think it would have been fine. Also, Nautilus is an easier kill compared to Aatrox here as well, to be honest. Aatrox is going to heal a lot, so regardless of whether or not Grievous is even on him. Potentially, if I had Aftershock earlier, I would have had a little bit more HP to live here. Just a little bit. Oh, she flashed on me. Never mind. That's how I died. I thought the Bel'Veth hit her little thing to kill me. All right, all good. So let's go ahead and go straight into the replay. I'll just jump right into it. We'll go ahead and pop it up. Then I will try and articulate a little bit better exactly how, or exactly what my thought process is for a game like this. I think I did a pretty okay job of it in the actual game, but might as well look for it. So I would not recommend. I'll do the vision from my perspective here for whenever it's relevant, but for now I'll do all vision perspective. I generally do not recommend that you go for level 1 proxy because people know it's coming now these days, so I recommend you generally don't do it. The exception is if you know where everyone is, if you know the enemy top laner is AFK, if you know that the enemy team 5-man late invaded your bot side, then you can get behind turret level 1 and just go for it, right? Otherwise, don't go for it. What you should do is usually this most games where you should slow push the first wave and then crash wave 2, right? Also, what they can do sometimes, the enemy top laner can sometimes just sit there and tank the entire creep wave knowing that you already used your fling in the trade and they have time to tank the wave. If Aatrox was to hold it, for example, right here, you can just walk around, but you have to make that decision very fast to do it, because even though these minions are a bit slower now, they're still a lot faster than in the old days, so you have less time to make that decision that you want to go around in proxy. And so if he was freezing up here, I would have immediately, with my fling being down, because it's still not up actually, even though we're all the way down here now, if he was freezing up here, I would have walked around immediately and just went through jungle and looked for proxy here. Technically, if I did that, I would have saved HP anyway, so it's probably just a better idea to do it in general, but I was being a little bit greedy there. I wanted to ego for the purpose of the video. So again, wards down there. So basically what this ward tells me is if the Gromp is gone, I know that Bel'Veth is pathing towards bot side. If the Gromp is alive, I know she's pathing towards me. Turns out this game she's actually looking for an invade, but in general, these are some of the conclusions that you can draw. So Aatrox walks down, I can tell he's not under his turret because I would have seen him with these minions. Then I just look for execute here. He actually was an XP range of me there. I didn't notice that. I didn't think that was XP range. Wow. He gets a third of a level on me there. That's crazy. I thought that I was out of range for sure. So I should have actually executed. I should have executed earlier. I did not think that was XP range. Well, I just learned something. Did they change that? That has to have been changed, right? Whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so and then on respawn, I don't have to use teleport because I know that this cannon is going to push the wave in, and the wave is also underneath his turret, so that's going to push the wave as well. And then where this would normally be like a slow pushing wave state, because the cannon's there, the cannon has 41 AD, 1.0 attack speed. That's more AD than the melee minions, more AD than the range minions, more attack speed as well. It has more tankiness as well, more HP. It's going to sit there and just DPS the absolute fuck out of this wave, and then just push, push, push. Obviously, I make a mistake of getting chunked here. I didn't respect the Aatrox enough, but that's fine. We recover, regen a bit, back off a bit, regen, and what you want to do is let him crash into your turret. Then what you want to do is use the DPS of the turret to empower your next wave push. Empower your turret bounce is what we call it, basically. So now this is technically bouncing because I have a wave that is closer to my side of the lane, and he needs to overextend to push it. But because my next wave will get there sooner, assuming that I don't let him push this completely for free, which I'm not, because my next wave will meet sooner than his next wave due to the state of the lane, this is going to then mean that my next wave will push in faster because I will have extra DPS to help me not only trade, but also just push in general. Turns out that I actually recalled because I got chunked pretty hard. Actually, no, I stayed here. Never mind, I lied. Yeah, so we're just looking to do the same thing. I have a big creep wave. If he fights me, I just cut into the creep wave. Otherwise, I'm looking to get behind him. And then my goal, let me articulate this. This is very important. This is not just with Aatrox, but this is with every melee champion, basically. My goal when I run behind him is not him. My goal is the minions, right? That's my primary goal. I want to separate him from me and the wave so I can run through the wave and poison it like this. That was my goal the entire time. So they know that I'm on a ward. I see him back because the minions follow him, so I'm not going to overforce this. I'm just going to take my recall right here. I could force it technically because I have Ghost, but it's not worth it because I do have Teleport to get back to lane anyway, so why take the risk? Why take the risk of potentially dying there? I'm going to be a greedy boy and greed for my blasting one here because that's how I play right now. I think it's worth it. You don't have to. I did actually stop his recall. Wow. I didn't think that I did, but I did. So just looking to push. There's his teleport that I scouted in the middle of the game. Doing the same thing here. He knows that I'm over here, but he's busy clearing the wave, so it's hard for him to respond to me. And that's all she wrote. From this point on, I was able to proxy. Do what I gotta do. Scouting these camps again. Getting vision of this. Getting vision of this. Harder to get vision of the blue because you have to, whenever you're running through the lane and then you go down around this corner, you don't actually get full vision of the blue. To get vision of the blue, you have to walk in the bush, and sometimes that can prevent you from catching a wave like this, so you have to be careful. Bel'Veth is nearby me here. That's why I remember I said I was leaving. Yep, leaving. just trying to be in a spot where I'm not in as much of a threat to her. So I walked over here, and then as the next wave is coming, remember, I'm watching this bottom wave here, right? Watching my bot lane wave to see where their top lane wave is. Then proxying. I think this is where I got ganked. No, it's not where I got ganked. Okay. This is where Ivern got ganked. So we're doing the same thing here. I know that Bel'Veth's near top side now, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I also see that her camps are respawned because I remember I walked past them. I got the timers, I got the vision, right? So I run back to lane here. I will also, I should clarify, I'll probably put this whole video into the Singed guide that I'm making as well, because I think it's just a really good educational piece so far, and I'm happy with how it's turning out. So same deal as before. This is where Aatrox decided to be a little bit greedy and fight me. I'll tell you where I should have been a little bit slower. I should have been a little bit slower whenever I kited into river, because I could tell he was like rage chasing me a bit, so I should have waited and then probably just like baited him by getting pulled in by this and make him think that it was a better fight for him, and then turned around. I also waited a bit too long. He actually uses ult. I don't even know if this is intentional, but he ults to actually gap the minions off the turret. So I take turret aggro. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I look for the fling here. Take a couple turret shots. It's not great. That's what prevents me from diving him in the first place, but he ends up being super greedy to actually try and chase me. Bel'Veth just looking to power clear towards bot lane. This is something that junglers will do a lot of the time. People will be like, Minish Cap, how do you never get ganked? It's because, one, I'm not putting myself behind the turret when I know that the enemy jungler is there, and if I think they're there, I'm not going behind the turret. Two, if they already know that I'm tracking them properly, they're just going to go for their power clear, right? A good jungler will find a way to gank you without sacrificing their clear too much, but a lot of the time, you know, if you're doing your job properly and you're scouting things and your jungler is, you know, scouting things, then you're usually okay. Right there, W, so he can't E away from me, and then just poison auto attack him to death, easy. Then this is where I create a massive gold gap, so watch the gold here. I'm currently already almost 600 gold ahead of him. Now I'm almost 800 gold ahead of him, right? He's 2600. I'm 3200, right? So I'm 600 gold ahead of him right now. With the plate and the kill and the extra CS lead, then I got this wave, I'm going to be even more ahead of him. This creates the biggest gold gap, not just of the of my lane so far, it's the biggest gold gap in the game by far. Actually, it's the same as the bot lane gold gap, but that's okay. I just counted it out. But it's still a big gold gap, right? Like, this matters a lot. And you have to remember, these CS that are dying under turret is gold that he's losing as well. Like, there's no gold loss mechanic in the league, but technically if you're not farming something and it dies, you have technically lost that gold, right? So then here on, it is essentially the same thing. I am just looking to safely push, proxy, farm, scale up, get big for team fights. That's what Singed does, is team fights. Unfortunately, I didn't show many team fights this game because we just didn't have that many team fights, but you've seen my videos, I assume, at this point. If you haven't, check them out. You know, Singed is a massive team fight champion. Here was just a super weird gank. So if I show the vision from my perspective, you can see that I just didn't see anybody really, right? So mid is neutral wave state, so you can assume that Lysandra is either going to gank or come to me, but she hasn't came to me yet this game, so I just assume that she's not going to show up. And also, that's also why I'm recalling, because like the map state doesn't look that great. I scouted her camps, the Bel'Veth's camps. I'm like, okay, she's probably not here. Turns out she's coming from our jungle, not farming anything. She's just hovering over there. She's coming from there. I didn't know that she was there, right? So my bad. I was in vision this whole time. I get pulled back here, unfortunately. And Lysandra shows up, so my bad. If I played this a little tiny bit better, honestly, I could have lived here if I didn't get hit by the Aatrox binding. I would have actually lived there, which would have been crazy, because the Bel'Veth shorted her E technically. She didn't short it, but if I dodged the Aatrox thing, then it would have been shorted, right? So all good, it happened. It's also a good example to show it, I think, because my LeBlanc ends up getting a mid plate for it, which is good. So she's gonna get a bit of a CS lead over the Lysandra as well. I got Rod of Ages, used my teleport, and then we just continue doing the same thing we've been doing. Same old deal. Aatrox is going to actually lose some CS here again, I think, because he looks to... Yeah, he goes to fight. So he goes to fight Ivern here, and I take the wave, so he's going to lose this entire wave under the turret. And so for reference, I am about 700 gold ahead of him now still. which is really good considering that we both only have, or I only have 1 kill and a CS lead. 700 gold is massive, right, for this point in the game. Turns out his first item spike is stronger than mine, but because of Rod of Ages and Leandry's 2 items plus, I'm stronger than him. So just looking to peel him. Tank the Jinx Rocket. Unfortunately, Sunder shows up as well, and I do actually end up killing him, which you hate to see, but Aatrox doesn't get the kill, so whatever. Then he actually dies to LeBlanc here, and then we just fight. Try to chase her down, don't have tier 2s yet, couldn't get her, that's okay. And then Velvet shows up, and I just look for the Goofling, and we run away, and I think Velvet actually dies here as well, which is huge, so we actually get gold off of that as well. Looking at the gold difference graph, he is 4,000 gold, and I am 4,800 gold. I am now 800 gold ahead of him from essentially what is just macro play. Right, getting these massive gold leads, and you're gonna. I know people will be like, "Oh, Minish Cap 800 is not massive," but like, remember, I'm not an early game champion, right? An 800 gold lead for a champion that's, you know, late game oriented, late game team fight specifically oriented is really good. Singed late game, you know, 1v1 is gonna be hard no matter what, because you have to commit. You can 1v1 late game. You just have to commit more resources than the enemy, right? Usually in that 1v1, because you don't have mobility, you're gonna rely on your summoner spells, things like this. That's why he's made for team fighting. His passive says team fight, his poison says team fight, his W says team fight, right? He's a team fighting champion. That's what he does. But here I'm willing to give up a wave so I can get the Herald. I'm still ahead of him in CS by 20. That's definitely no joke. I'm just gonna still ahead of him in gold. And here, and go ahead and recall. Play this 8x. See the fight happening bottom. I recalled out of a proxy as well, so I have good tempo here because he is clearing this wave, but I cleared the wave that was behind turret. So if he wants to push my turret, he has to wait for this whole next wave to not only be spawned and run back to lane, but also then push this wave that's coming in, right? So when I TP, I'm TPing with that knowledge that I came out of a proxy, knowing that his tempo is gonna be slower. Because potentially, if I don't kill that wave earlier, and he already is underneath my turret, he could even go for tier 2 pressure, right? Because he's an AD champion with an auto attacker reset. He can even pressure my tier 2. But knowing that I came out of proxy, I look for the teleport here. I should have probably flung the Belveth there because Belveth would have been a Goofling, but that's okay. We got the Belveth flash, we got the Jinx flash. I think Nautilus doesn't even have his, so. Me being here with Ivern means we can go for turret, and then we take turret. I look for tier 2 pressure with Herald. We get turret first blood, and then we take this. Aatrox does get a wave, and he does get a turret or whatever, but we'll look at the gold difference. It will be a bit smaller now. So yeah, 5,700 to 6,300, but think about the value I got for my team. My team is net up over 3,000 gold, right? About 3,300 gold, actually. Which is definitely good. All right, so same deal here. We're gonna look to push, look to not die, look to get pressure, look to just be available on the map for my team. Go back for Faded Ashes. Faded Ashes is a big pushing spike. The reason why I went Haunting Guys this game before Faded Ashes is because if, in case we got into a fight, Haunting Guys is actually better in a extended fight versus Aatrox because of the damage amplification, but we didn't actually get into any extended fights with him besides the one before that I took, so. He's warding this. I know he's warding it, so I'm just going to walk down. I don't need to get behind turret here. I don't need to overforce it. The reason why I'm hovering towards mid is because Velvet is hovering towards mid. He's going to push, so I'm going to go ahead and match, etc., etc. Here's Leandry's spike. I know I'm stronger than him now, and if I need a 1v1, I can. But if I need a team fight, I can do that too. Here's turret take. Again, playing around teleport, around this bot lane knowledge. Around this bot lane. Watching this fight. Seeing what's going on. I see her use her E. I assume she's going in. She doesn't actually do it. I'm already TPing in, so fuck it. Let's see if we can find something. I have movement speed advantage from teleporting and this cloud buff area thing. Catch him with the fling right there into a goof fling. Pop my arc as we're fighting now, and then even though he flashes away, it's my ult's up. I just run him down, kill him. And I'm super strong here at this point. So I just run through the turret with my ult on. Who cares? Level 15 at 21 minutes, 30 seconds, and then we take tier 1 mid. We get Baron here. Big gold. All right, so let's check out the gold diff. 7,200 gold Aatrox, 8,800 gold Singed. Right? How's that for a gold lead? Right? That's up there. That is up there. For reference, the 1600 gold lead, that is a Haunting Guys plus extra component if I was building towards Riftmaker immediately, which I am. So, yeah, it is. Again, macro gameplay gets me this gold lead. And if I did have a few kills, I'd have a bigger gold lead. But you have to think about all the value I'm giving my team as well, right? This is not like the most typical game in terms of the amount of kills that I would have. A lot of the time here, I'd have more kills than this. But remember here, I was just sieging, split sieging with my team because I know I'm stronger than him. So we're just doing what I'm doing. In a situation like this, if they fight in mid, I run up there. If not, I just commit to bottom. But because of the game state, I'm able to just slowly siege this. I use my R, but my R is going to come back up in about 30 seconds. And my team is sieging this very well, to their credit. Not going to hit by the Nautilus engage. They are being very patient and just slowly poking this down. Nautilus is actually dead there, because I guess they picked them off, so. We double inhibs there, recall, reset, don't want to overstay, don't want to overpush. Get Riftmaker components, and then this is where I was pushing top lane. I scouted up Lysandra, but she ended up staying. Nautilus is in the area as well. I think the main mistake looking back that I made here, I took a turret shot there as well. I didn't even notice that. Turret shot pretty bad. Main mistake I made there, I just flung the Aatrox too early. You have to remember that your fling has a pretty long cooldown, and especially in later stages of the game, it's you know, it's 8 seconds base, but that's a lot because you're not buying CDR generally a lot on Singed. And if I waited to fling, I could have probably focused Lysandra down. She did have her self-ult plus Zhonya's there, which she actually used right there. So maybe just not the easiest fight in general. And it takes a while for Riftmaker to stack up anyway, so it's going to take a while for Rift plus Leandris to really start dealing meaningful damage. But if I had that other fling on Lysandra, she would have actually been dead there if I used the first one on her, because she lived with 280 HP, 250 HP even, which means that first fling into that last bit of fight would have actually killed her if I just put it a bit differently. That's okay. That's all right. Then we just fast forward. Look for Baron, and again, this is where I was bottom. And the purpose of me being bottom here is to checkmate the enemy team. Lysandra has TP, I also have TP, but with the way that the game state is, imagine we fight this Baron, and you know they all go to join. If she's not here to hold this wave, the wave will just push, and this mid super wave will just push, and we'll get Nexus turrets, right? If assuming Jinx and Lysandra both go to join here. But because they don't go to join, this is a 5v3 fight, and we got Baron. So even if Bel'Veth somehow did steal Baron, guess what? These two aren't here. We would just wipe these three. You know what I mean? So we're using macro to checkmate them. And that's GG. All right, guys. That being said, if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be more than happy to answer what I can in the comments, or at least address them in a video of some sort whenever I get to that. But just meant for this to be a quick and dirty laning and proxy guide. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Catch you in the next one. Mwah. Peace, everybody.